Welcome to another art day video. In today's video, I'm going to show you an easy and simple sun catcher craft. On the next slide, you'll see all the supplies that you'll need to create your own sun catcher. The first step of this craft is to get a coloring sheet, any coloring sheet. It could be a very detailed one like this or a very simple one. But what you're going to do, you're going to take the time to add color to your coloring page. Coloring is a great activity to clear your mind, to relax. It's something that doesn't have a timetable. You can go as fast or as slow, but I encourage you to really just spend the time and color in your coloring page and allow your mind and body to relax, clear your mind, and just enjoy this simple activity of coloring. One tidbit, when you color, when you pick a coloring sheet, what we're going to do is we are going to use a section of your coloring sheet to be framed by a mason jar lid. So if you don't have a lot of time and you just want to pick a certain area of your coloring sheet, like I think I'm going to do the sun as a center point. And so you're going to kind of color this area that will be shown or that you'll cut out in the same size as this mason jar, which I'll show you later. So I've done this one as a second option, and I'll show you this. I spent a lot of time in figuring out the color schemes. If you need help with what colors to use where, I will post a picture of a color wheel so you know what colors complement other colors. Right here in this corner, I will post the color wheel to help you as you color your own coloring page. I would also recommend when you do your coloring sheet to do the entire coloring sheet, not just of what areas you want to frame. So don't just pick one area and just do that. Take the time and do the entire coloring sheet and enjoy the process. And make sure you use markers and not crowns because we want the final part to look translucent and we need markers to help bleed the colors through the picture. So I'm just finishing up kind of the area that I am going to be using. Now as you can see, I'm gonna frame this area. So all that white space, I'm actually going to color in with this light kind of purple. Like it's not so light, but it will still work. Just so it's not all orange and yellows. Okay, so once you have your coloring sheets completed, so I've done this one for one of my sun catchers because I didn't really know for sure what area I wanted to cut out, so I did the whole thing, which I encourage you to do. But I've also colored this one because I really just loved this sun picture, so I just colored just the area that I would be cutting out. So now that you have your coloring sheets with color, let's go on to the next step. So you are going to trace using the mason jar lid, which will be your frame. You're going to place it down. So we're just going to place it down where we want it. Okay, so grab a pencil or pen, and I'm going to actually turn my coloring page around to trace it. Okay, so grab a friend to help hold it down if you need to. And we're gonna trace it, the mason jar. Like so, and cut that out. So now we're gonna cut that out, and I tested this. You're gonna cut just inside the line that you just made, so usually when we cut, we follow the line. If you can, keep that perfect circle, but follow the line just inside. So not right on top. But if you need to follow the line, that's okay. Then follow the line and you can just trim afterwards. Because I have found that the perimeter that we used to trace was just slightly too big. So we have this. Now what we're gonna do is fit it into our mason jar so it will look like this. And we're gonna glue it inside. So we're gonna use some glue. You're just going to add glue to the inside perimeter. Like so. And then stick your colored cutout that you just cut out facing down. So the colored part faces down, and we're gluing it to the inside perimeter and with the glue as the adhesive. So it looks like that. So we're gonna let that dry. We're gonna let that dry for a sec. And I'm gonna kind of show you again what I did. So if you have a completed coloring sheet like this, you're gonna just move your lid around and kind of decide what pattern you want. I kind of like the body of the toucan with the flower right here. So I'm gonna turn it around and do the same thing. Again, trace and then cut out. So there's the circle, and it's a little bit too big. As you can see, I really would have to crinkle it up, okay? Which is okay. You'll have more room for paper to stick with the glue, but that's how it will look when I glue it. Okay, so now before we get to the kind of the fun part, we're gonna just take some string and we're going to make a slip knot around the jar lid so that you can hang it, okay? So like that. Okay, and you know what I'm gonna do? Again, be very gentle because the glue is still wet. I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue right here just to help secure the string or rope, whatever you're using. Okay, and hold it down for, I don't know, 10 seconds. And if you want, you can do a little bit at the bottom. Okay. Now that you have that, the last step is to make it like a sun catcher. So you're going to take some baby oil and put it on a cotton ball or a cotton swab. Okay? So we're just gonna put it right on the cotton swab. And we're just going to lightly and gently rub it over our coloring page, okay? I've just discovered that it might be even easier to take your baby and just put a couple of drops in different areas on the back side, and then take your cotton swab and just spread it around. And just kind of spread the baby oil around. You don't want to drench it. I think putting the baby oil on the back end definitely works better, and it will help you. It will help keep the picture in place a lot better. But after it dries, so you're gonna let this dry, and after it dries, then you can hang it. So I will show you what it looks like in front of a window for the final reveal.